Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, and on TuneIn, iHeart, and on Odyssey. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Justice served in the Jussie Smollett case.
Or was it?
Or was it? His brother, JoJo, not too happy that his brother was sent directly to the clank right when the trial was over, obviously, because that's what happens.
Regular people.
No exceptions for liars who stage hate crimes with nooses and bleach.
He's in jail for 5 months. That is unacceptable for being attacked.
See, they're still going with the lie. Going with the lie. Jussie didn't handle it too well. He stood up like, me, jail time, judge. He didn't speak during the sentencing.
Right.
He spoke after he was sentenced.
I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time.
Jail time.
I am not suicidal. Stop laughing about black. I am not suicidal.
Did you hear that?
And I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
What did that lady?
She said, "Stop laughing at a black man."
Oh, because somebody was.
He was laughing at a liar. You know, I mean, and you know it's something. So I've been watching like a lot of the progressive blacks, the liberal blacks, and their responses to this. They're like, "Nah, dog, you're screwing it up for us. You lied."
Right. Well, but then you have Reverend Jesse Jackson, who was in the courtroom, and the NAACP president. And then Samuel L. Jackson wrote a letter that was read. His wife wrote a letter that was read, and other people. And it was just...
But they're detached. They don't know what's going on. They
don't. He's lying.
Right.
A jury found him guilty. We all know that doesn't happen. But MAGA people don't... First of all, Trump supporters in Chicago, they would fall on a grenade before they dare wear a MAGA hat walking around here, which is sad to say, and it's embarrassing, but that's true about the Republican Party in Illinois.
It's true.
I've never seen a MAGA hat in Chicago.
Well, I've worn it.
Oh, well, except no one's going to mess with John.
And I wasn't there that night, though.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
With more on this and what's going on around the world, let's welcome back to the program Chadwick Moore, Spectator columnist and contributing editor. Rise of the dimwit vodka dumpers. We'll get to that in a second. But your favorite Jussie Smollett moment. Did you watch the sentencing hearing yesterday?
Of course I watched the sentencing. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I think that my favorite, I know it's not a classic Jussie Smollett moment, but I think my favorite has to be, I'm not suicidal. I'm not like, who does he think, what's he have on the Clintons? Does he want us to think he's really important? He's like in the deep state or something?
Well, he's afraid that he's going to he's afraid that something's going to happen to him in prison.
Jeffrey Epstein.
No, he's not going to, he's not going to get, he's not going to get murdered and make it look like he committed suicide. Yeah. But he just was letting people know, Chadwick, that, if anything happens to his pretty face there, that he didn't do it to himself, that somebody did it to him. So do you think...
Yeah. And then we try to make it look like a suicide because he's very important. He's got a lot of dirt on people. I think that's what he was trying to let us know.
Oh.
Well, what do you think the sentence was too much? 150 days in jail?
No, I don't think it was enough, to be honest. But I am surprised that he did actually get jail time. I thought maybe he would just do community service and probation.
I think he was surprised too. Because the judge started out saying, 30 months probation, and you don't have to stay here in Illinois. Check in, physically with your probation officer. You could call him on the phone, him or her on the phone, and travel. And then boom, but your first 150 days are going to be spent in jail.
Yeah, he was very surprised by that. He thought he was above all of this. It would not happen to him. The judge was saying that he might have to travel for work to New York and Los Angeles. I do wonder if he will have a career after this. I kind of would be surprised if he did. If we're back on television.
I know. I don't. If he produces or stars in a movie or does anything, I can't watch it.
Oh man, he
gave the city the black eye, a huge black eye, and attention we didn't need. And he turned it on police like, no, police are framing me. Remember when he said that? But we didn't need that at that time. We had enough tension right now between the civilians in the city and police officers.
Yeah.
And he made it worse. And there's still people, Chadwick, including Jussie's family, who still thinks that he did get beat up by two MAGA supporters, thrown bleach on, and then put a noose around his neck.
Isn't that amazing? And it wasn't even just what he did to the city of Chicago. I mean, it was a national thing at that point, and things are already tense enough throughout the entire country. He inflamed the tensions even more with this hoax, all to hope to advance his stupid little career, and he thought he'd get away with it. It was amazing, and the fact that the story was so stupid from the start. I think I was one of the first people to be like, this didn't happen. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. And the story was so dumb that he thought people would actually believe it. And it's sad that we live in a culture that he, he thought he would get away with it. And that he thought that this seemed like a logical thing that would happen to someone in downtown Chicago during a polar vortex at 2 a.m.
I was just, again, so surprised at all the people that wrote letters of support. His family, I understand. Yeah. But everybody else, I mean, they have egg on their face this morning. Right. But what are you going to do? Right. All right, let's move on to real pressing matters. Vodka. Well, so far, Apple, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, H&M, Nike, TJ Maxx, IKEA, Adidas, Western Union, Netflix. The list goes on and on of corporations that have pulled out of Russia. They're closing their shops. They're not doing business there because they invaded Ukraine. But then people thought that, I have to do something. Let me do something. Let me be important. And in places like Utah, because I was just there last week, and other states, they decided to start dumping Russian vodka. Chadwick, are you there?
Really? Yeah, yes, this is correct. Yeah, first of all, I got to say, so Facebook is now banned in Russia, McDonald's, Netflix. It seems to me that Russia might be on track to being the most healthy and well-balanced population on the planet soon. But what's funny with this dumping the Russian vodka thing, so mainly this is like Smirnoff and Stoli. These are not Russian vodkas. They're Russian-themed vodkas. So Smirnoff, for example, is the number 2 alcohol brand in the country. It's distilled in Illinois, and it's owned by a British company. So it has like a Russian-sounding name, And same with Stoli is owned by a Russian billionaire who actually fled Russia when Putin came into power because he does not like him and they don't get along. And it's distilled in all over the world, including the United States, and not in Russia. So the dimwit vodka dumpers are pouring their precious vodka down the drain to virtue signal their support for Ukraine. They're really just throwing away American products that they already paid for.
And you said
I was talking with truckers, and they were saying how they can't keep up with the demand for Smirnoff. It's a good marketing ploy.
Really?
Yeah, they said he said he's been so busy that he hasn't had a break in like 20-something days. Like, I mean, he stopped to drive, right? Yeah. But he said it's flying off the shelf.
But it's such virtue signaling.
Well,
are they buying all this Smirnoff just to film themselves dumping it? Is that why it's...
Well, but I think people are dumping it and then realizing, oh, wait, this stuff is made in Illinois.
Yep.
Like, I went into the state liquor store in Utah and said, Smirnoff has to stay on the shelves.
Liquor store.
Well, they have a state liquor store. They do things a little different there, okay? A lot of Mormons there. It's a great place to live. But I don't want anybody from Illinois moving there, except for us. But stay away from it. But I, just wanted them to remind them that Smirnoff and certain vodkas are made in the United States. So it was crazy. All right, but here's more virtue signaling. People want to act like they're doing something. Bumble swipes left on Russia and Belarus, so they're shutting down the dating apps. Chadwick, do you think that this will end the conflict in Ukraine if we shut down Bumble?
I mean, once again, it's just another way that Russians are about to become just so healthy and well-balanced and having good, healthy relationships with one another. Here's some other things that we should probably do to show our support for Russia. We should stop eating poutine. I'm not sure if you've ever had poutine. It's a Canadian dish. I think that we need to, not go to St. Petersburg, Florida. That's not a good idea. I think that, if you're a wine fan, if you like California wine, a sixth of that is made in a place called the Russian River Valley. So you don't want to have any of that.
Okay.
I like
this
guy.
Things you can do to show how much you support Ukraine.
So, but how dumb are the Canadians that poutine, it's gravy on top of French fries? And they went into the restaurant and they said, that's Putin. It's poutine, not Putin. And also, Chadwick Moore, don't forget about the Russian blue cat. Because they cannot compete in cat competitions because they're the Russian blue cat. Do you think the cat knows what's going on?
I saw that too. That is really good. And there was also a school in a university in Italy that that took Dostoevsky, excuse me for not saying that this early in the morning, off the syllabus. Well, the funny thing is that the Crime and Punishment author, he spent time in a Russian gulag because he was caught reading banned books. So that was the irony, I guess, was lost on the people who took him off the syllabus in Italy.
And then the WNBA star who was arrested, who's looking at 10 years over in Russia.
Yeah, well,
Brittany Grenier.
Vaping cartridges of marijuana, I just really wouldn't put that in my suitcase. You can buy it when you get home, unless they planted that.
That's what I've been reading across the black, social media sites. They're saying that they believe it was planted on her.
And they're what? Putin's going to try to use her as a bargaining chip?
Probably.
Oh boy! And then also, I remember when you talked about Grindr, that was put to a halt during the Olympics because they didn't want athletes to have sex.
Yes, in China, apparently that was what happened exactly. Although it does seem to be getting a little deeper with Grindr in China because the company couldn't comply to China's privacy. The rules with the Chinese, they'd have to give all their data to the Chinese government, which would probably be very dangerous, especially for any diplomats who are in China, perhaps using that service. So Grindr was then pulled from China, yes.
But that's what you get when you visit communist countries and have Olympics in communist countries and then have a war. And this is the only way we could get back at Russia, I guess, is if we stop all the commerce coming in and stop selling Big Macs and fries, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, Chadwick Moore, always a pleasure having you on. And what are you working on today? Anything we should look forward to?
I'm going to be writing next week about the return of Anthony Weiner.
Oh,
God.
So you can find that in the Spectator next week.
Oh, do tell.
Well, he's back. He's on the forgiveness tour. And he's got a new radio show, and he thinks he's going to be a media star now. So we'll see how that happens, how well that goes along.
All right, we're looking forward to that article. Thank you, Chadwick Moore. You can follow him on Twitter at Chadwick_.
I'm following him now. I'm following you right now, Chadwick.
Thanks, guys. Have a good morning.
All right, thank you. And he's also a Spectator columnist.